Here we are in Wellington, New Zealand's capital, ahead of the fourth round Castle Lager Rugby Championship test match between the All Blacks and the Springboks at the Sky Stadium here in Wellington on Saturday. Rassie Erasmus has named his team, and it contains 7 personnel changes and 2 positional switches in the starting lineup compared to the team that took to the field in Auckland last Saturday. Shimmi, lots to unpack here, so let's go through the team. In the back three, Apalele Fassi, not a surprising return, and what an opportunity for young Ethan Hooker getting his first test start.
It's massive for him. Look, we're going to go through the whole team, but it's an attacking team. Apalele Fassi and Hooker, they'll have an understanding, obviously coming from the Sharks. But I like the fact that Rassie's gone back to what we know, in terms of controlling the narrative, announcing the team early, putting it out there, saying this is what we're going to do. Let's see how you react to it, which is a positive start. So in terms of mindset, it creates a good mindset for the team to start. But Apalele Fassi, Hooker, and obviously the reliable Cheslin Colby there. It's a back three that's good under the high ball, defensively good, and a back three that can attack. A back three that will take the game to the New Zealanders.
Well, Kainan Moody started on the wing in Auckland, but don't forget that at Twickenham, ahead of the World Cup in 2023, when the Springboks inflicted a record defeat on the All Blacks, he started in the number 13 jersey. He will do that again, but in partnership with Damian Willemse, who starts at inside centre for the first time in a green and gold jersey.
That's probably the surprise. Look, he's played inside centre for the Stormers. I've always maintained Damian Willemse, he's too good to leave out the team. He almost reminds me when I think Jake White played Jean de Villiers at wing and then moved him to centre. Damian Willemse, he tackles, can carry the ball up. He's got, the sixth sense in terms of spreading the ball out wide. He's a kicking option also if we need territory. But it's good to see him back. Look, he hasn't had a run. The only thing that would be a concern is the amount of minutes he's played. But the reality is it's an All Black game, emotionally heightened. So between him and Kainan, it's an exciting partnership. I think it's one for the future, even though Willems has won 2 World Cups already.
That might be one of the reasons for going with the 5-3 on the bench, which we'll get to in just a moment. But the halfback, Sasha Feinberg Mngomezulu, gets to start. He started a test match against the All Blacks in Johannesburg last year. And Kobus Reinach and Grant Williams swapping roles this week.
Yeah, look, that's Grant Williams is good off the bench. I think he's probably been our form player. But Sasha, this is a big one for him. It's funny, you assume, it's the first time in New Zealand. He'd never been here before. But what a chance for him. I thought he was good off the bench. I thought he added impact. What I like about Sasha is when he plays heads-up rugby and he takes defenders on, he makes everyone outside him look pretty good. I think the trick here is for him to get the balance in his game between when to have a go, when to turn the magic on. It doesn't have to be all the time, and when to control it with his game management and kicking game. But definitely a threat with the ball and a threat without the ball, but it's the balance that he's going to need to get right.
Well, in the back row, Peter Steph Totoy remains at blindside flank. Sia Kolisi moves from 8 to 6 and will captain the side. And Jasper Visser, after that 4-match suspension, all of which ended up being test matches, returns to the number 8 jersey. I don't know about you. I'm looking forward to his first carry.
No, it's going to be. I think that he's tired of doing fitness, Matt. And you always knew once his name was announced to come on this tour, he wasn't coming just to train. Otherwise, he could have done that in Joburg or back in South Africa. So once the ban was over, he was always going to play this game. But he's big for us. We've had Sia. I thought Sia's done a good job. Jean-Luc Dupre got injured, unfortunately. But Jasper is the man. He's the incumbent Springbok number 8. It's also the same thing, how long are the lungs going to go? You've got Kwaka out there. So his ability to just do the damage and actually let Kwaka come in and take over is going to be important. So it's an exciting team. It's an attacking team. We're controlling the narrative this weekend. Rassie's gone back to what he knows, but it's also an opportunity for a lot of these guys. Willems, you spoke about Sasha. What a chance for these guys to do something special.
And just the one change in the tight 5, Shim. No change in the front row. Ruan Okia retains the number 5 jersey, but will start alongside Loet de Jager.
Yeah, that's probably what was the big. We're so used to saying Eben this, Eben that, and he's playing. But a good chance for Loet de Jager. I thought he was aggressive when he came on. Ruan Okia. I think we have got certain issues at line out. I don't know whether it's the calling or the throwing, but it's a very fixable thing. But it's going to be important for those guys to turn it on, because I think if there is an area where we can attack is up front.
And finally, a quick word on the bench. We mentioned it earlier, 5-3 split. Manus van der Merwe gets an opportunity as the replacement hooker. Jan-Hendrik Wessels covering loosehead prop. And then Wilco Louw, RG Snyman, Kwagga Smith, and then the backs covered by Grant Williams, Manie Lebok, and Andre Esterhuizen.
Is it a 6-2 split or is it a 5-3 with Easter Hazen? Look, he could cover that. That's the beauty about it, though. I like the fact that Ochi is back. In a tight game, he's got, as a forward, almost reminds me of a Bob Skinstad. He's got the ability to unlock a defense with an offload or a good run or something, or challenge the defense. But Matt, it's a good team. Even last week's team was good enough to beat New Zealand. For me, we'll always change selection or rotate, but it's the performance we need to start looking at. Because our performance last week, unfortunately, wasn't good enough. We're probably 10-15% of our game. If we up that if we 5% of our game, I think we're good enough to beat New Zealand. And that's the reality. So it's a nice opportunity. A lot of these guys haven't got a lot of minutes. Hooker, Damien Willemse, but it's a chance, though. I think 5-3 split actually works, considering the limited amount of time these guys have gotten there. But another exciting week. The greatest rivalry continues. The soap opera continues. It's time to go again.
Well, the Rugby Championship of 2025 remains one of the most tightly contested that we've ever had, and it looks as though it's going to be the same this weekend as well. We're looking forward to another fantastic build-up week and to bringing you all the news and the interviews from around the squad, and then, of course, the big game on Saturday.